the swollen, stinking carrion. Now, in a true glutton-for-punishment fashion, I'd signed up for doing that task again. This was my first homicide since taking the oath as one of McCreary County's finest 3 months ago. Backtracking a little, I secured Wilco's leash to a tree, double-checking a couple times to make sure he couldn't get loose. He immediately began working himself into a frenzy, turning around and around, his nose low to the ground at first, then raising upward, high into the air, as if he was scooping up the scent. It felt almost cruel to hold him back from his quarry, not to allow him to achieve his ultimate goal of locating and alerting me to the dead body. But in the military, we knew the cause of death: bombs, bullets, rockets, and shrapnel. And we knew the source: the enemy. Here, we didn't know, and I couldn't risk Wilco disturbing evidence. Sorry, boy. I ran my hand down the long side of his back, then stood and pulled up the collar of my parka, tucking my chin against the wind. The night before, a freak weather pattern blew in from the northwest, bringing several inches of fresh snow. It was still coming down in spurts, and the elongated ski grooves left over from the cross-country trekker were already partially covered. I scanned the forest floor around me. No other tracks. A couple minutes later, Sheriff Pusser plowed down the trail, in the lead of the rest of the team. At 6 feet plus, an extra 20 pounds or so around his midsection, and a booming voice to match, stealthy would never describe my boss. He broke into the clearing with Officers Harris and Parks, and a handful of crime scene techs, and motioned for them to stay back while he approached me. He stopped about 5 yards away and raised his eyes.
What the hell are those?
Yup. Chickens. His face grew ashen, making his pockmarks more pronounced. After a couple beats, I cleared my throat. You okay, boss? He swiped his upper lip and slid his eyes my way.
I got a bad feeling about this one.
He reached into his pocket for a small plastic cylinder of cinnamon toothpicks he always kept on hand. He fumbled a bit before getting one out, then placed it between his lips and bit down hard. Harris joined us.
Looks like a butcher shop out here.
Pusser frowned.
Did I call you over here, Harris? Watch yourself. I don't need this scene contaminated.
Harris swallowed hard, his cold eyes piercing me, like it was my fault he'd puked all over our last homicide scene. No one moved, waiting for Pusser's command. But he just stood there, sucking on his toothpick and staring at the dead chickens. I spoke up. Hey, Sheriff? My dog's going nuts. The body can't be far. The skier said she was in a small cave, probably below us.
Okay then, let's go check it out.
He turned to Harris.
You stay here with the rest of these guys until we can figure out the best way to approach the scene.
Harris swore under his breath and shot me one last glare as he stepped back to the others. Harris hated me. Wussy-ass guys like him always do. But like with death, I was no stranger to hate. As a female in the Marines, or even more so as an American soldier on foreign soil, I'd earned more than just my stripes as I faced down old-school chauvinists. But hatred had hounded me long before the military. It started at birth. During the Great Famine, my nomadic Irish ancestors migrated here, looking for work and a place to preserve their itinerant culture, but somehow ended up settling in this backwoods area of Appalachia. We're known as travelers, or pavies, as we call ourselves. Gypsies, knackers, or pikeys, as others sometimes call us. I've been called them all, and worse. But prejudice poisons both ways. Most pavies despised